Hi, welcome to Pomo Stream, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how it is to, how you set yourself up for failure and what it kind of looks like to really play SnowRunner from more of a serious perspective. Like, I'm not trying to scare nobody off and away from the game, but, I'm just trying to catch some natural gameplay. This is me wondering how would it feel to haul this trailer and take the path that I'm taking. Now, I know the path very well that I'm taking because I've done it a billion and one times before. Obviously, this is the first map on SnowRunner. It's in Michigan on the Smithsonian region. And, yeah, like I said, I just wanted to test out this trailer with this route. And like I said, there's going to be some previous videos where you see me using this trailer. And that's just because I was just testing and I already know I like the trailer. But I'm testing out the do's and the don'ts with this particular trailer and with this truck. Now, when it comes time for the truck, I love the truck. That's the 57X. And I always felt like that's been a pretty capable truck for the most part. Like, it's not one of the best trucks, but it's not that bad. I mean, I kind of feel like I would trust this truck over the 4070A due to the all-wheel drive. But sometimes all-wheel drive, it only kind of saves a truck once in a while, not all the time. Now what you're going to see here is I'm going to do a little skippy skip because, yeah, why bother with showing how I got unstuck from that situation. But now we come up to the fun part. And here it goes. This is why I would never, ever take this route with this trailer right here ever again. It's because I'm afraid of that right there happening. Now that could have been any truck. And that was just totally my fault. It's like I was kind of expecting this to happen, but kind of not. You see I'm trying to struggle here, but we're going to quickly switch over to plan B. No, not that. But the FLD 120. Yeah, there we go. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I love the first truck I jumped into, and for the most part, I'm pretty confident with her. But this ain't the situation for that because that likes to tip over easily, just like the way I flipped over this truck right here. But at least I was more confident with that truck. Now we're on to Plan C. Plan C is never as good as Plan B, and you better trust and believe that Plan C is always a dumb plan. It normally never works, and it's a hell of a lot goofier. I have no idea why. With every plan, it always goes more and more downhill. But yeah, here we are. Now, here comes that SnowRunner struggle that the professionals already know and love by now. So I'm deciding whether I'm gonna try to save the FLD first. Try not to tip this over. Look like I slid past the FLD a little bit, but I'm like, screw it. Let me just see. Should I try to go for saving the logging trailer, saving the FLD? And I kind of, yeah, I was really split on which direction I should go. So I said, you know what? I got the FLD right under the right side of me, so let me try to pull this trailer backwards first. And that failed like the way I kind of expected it to. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Here goes. Let me reposition myself. So here we go. I'm gonna try to put this truck at a much more better angle. No, actually, I think I tried to pull it down first. Try to use some of that brute force. But yeah, after I get tired of trying to do this, I switch up the game a little bit. Now I'm actually turned around. So this truck at its most stable right here, facing uphill due to its weight distribution. So now I'm gonna try to, let's see, what do I do here? I actually go for the FLD 120. All I can say is I'm glad Plan C is actually working because I mean Plan C normally never works. So we got the FLD back on her feet, or should I say on her tires. So now we can seriously try to help the 57X get unstuck here. And I knew I needed this truck just because of the brute force. Alright, I gotta give Saber Interactive this credit right here. Thank God you could control more than one truck at the same time, so you don't really need another player to come help you out. But having another player help you out is a lot more useful than trying to do this all yourself because you never know what the truck physics are going to be for you. Sometimes it feels like the truck that you're not really 100% controlling. Sometimes it feels like that truck get like a billion horsepower and it just yanks you right along. Or sometimes it feels like a weak little kitten and you wish that it had more power or you know it could pull better than what you see it pulling you. And you're like, oh man, why this truck is choosing to be such garbage right now? You know what I'm saying? Alright, so I cut off the part where I turned this truck around and pointed it uphill. I mean, I figured that part wasn't all that necessary. And, you know, I'm trying to trim down this video as I'm speaking over it all at the same time. But here goes, we eventually get this truck unstuck from against the tree. And here goes the funny part right here. Now this is what it means to really play SnowRunner. So imagine you just been through everything you just see me go through right now. You get your truck, you finally get the truck unstuck. And unfortunately, you know damn well while hauling this trailer at this point in the game, whatever you do, you gotta kind of get committed to it. So you go from one track to another track. Oh yeah, the joy of SnowRunner. Yeah, don't try to take this as, oh yeah, this truck sucks. No, this truck is absolutely fantastic. It's just that I'm putting it in situations I shouldn't be putting it in. So you know, I'm showing you guys what a player air looks like. And you know, I didn't do this unintentionally. I did it because I didn't want to get stuck between the trees again. And so far, this seems like the much more better option. And now, on top of that, I already got my helpful truck right here helping me out. Now, this is the joy of this game right here. When you don't recover your trucks all the time, you got something else that can definitely help you out right then and there. That's why I like to leave out my trucks until I'm nearly finished doing all the contracts and stuff. And then I start to slowly but surely tuck them away as I'm beginning to finish up a course. Alright, yeah, now we're back in the 57X again. And yeah, I'm going to cut out a lot of this because this is moving painfully slow. You know, I'd rather not torture you guys with like a 50-minute long video. So, you know, there wasn't nothing really on that note, but really I also get stuck right here, which I'm going to do another jump cut to me just magically being out. Because like I said, I don't think you guys really want to see all that much of a struggle. But once again, I'm really feeling the weight of this load. Now, this truck right here, I will give it credit. It is an absolute tower of power. Even with the stock engine in it, it still is pretty beefy of a truck. But I'm about to do another jump cut right about here. You know, I figured it would be better for me to tell you guys what's going on, and this is it right here. So I jump cut through a lot of the slow moving parts to another part where I simply got stuck once again. And yeah, unfortunately, you guys already know another jump cut is coming up soon because guess what? I don't think you guys want to see the rescue truck, the Plan B rescue truck, I'm going to call it, come and rescue the 57X again. So like I said, here comes another jump cut right about now. Okay, so after I rescued the truck again, I decided, yeah, I had enough of this crap. So now it's time for me to change trucks. and drop this load in a very safe location, like right there. Now, if you notice, I try to drop it on generally flat land so I don't have no issues with sliding underneath the trailer again. Because it's always a possibility you could drop these trailers in a situation where it's hard for you to re-pick it back up again. And I figured that this would probably be a much more better location for that. Look at that, could slide right underneath there just like that. And now it's time to take off. Okay, there is something I kind of got to admit to while making this video. If you probably noticed that the fuel haven't been present on a good majority of this video so far, that's because I had it in immersion mode where it don't really show you that. So I was kind of an idiot for letting myself run out of fuel here. So, between the last jump to this jump right here, nothing really noteworthy happened except for, as you can see, I'm running out of fuel. Now, I thought that I would have enough fuel to run down this path and make it to the trailer I got set up ahead, but, that was a miscalculation on my part. And like I said, things like that, it happens. I didn't expect this truck to run out of fuel this fast while hauling the logs of the trailer with the logs on it. But I wasn't even thinking about how much fuel was in the truck because it wasn't really all that present, or I just really wasn't paying attention while making the video. And like I said, that's just called being human. Now, what can I say? With the immersion mode on, it was more of a out of sight, out of mind type of deal. So I'm not even really upset about that. But, I got this trailer right here that I was planning on getting some fuel out of anyways at the end of the trail. So now, instead of bringing that trailer back with me, I just decided to leave it there because, one, I didn't want to deal with getting it out the way after refueling the FLD 120. And I knew I gave the FLD 120 enough fuel to finish out the rest of this trip anyway. So, it's all good. Alright, so after refueling, I'm on my way. Here we go. We're getting to the end of the path that we started on with the other truck that I left behind. And yeah, as you can see, look at this. This is purely smooth sailing. And I'm pretty confident in the rest of this trip because there's not too much more obstacles in my way stopping me from delivering this load, which is really nice. And oddly enough, I managed to turn a nearly hour-long clip into nearly a 17-minute long video, which I know is going to be a bit longer than that after I edit it all together and stuff. Look at that, I'm sailing clear past that fuel tank that I had left there for just in case of emergencies. And like I said, there's stuff like that that you kind of don't really think about until you play a game like this. Alright, as you can see, I'm already stuck in the ground when I switched over to the other map here. And yeah, this is that stuff right here that kind of makes me put this game down for a while because, there's just some things that shouldn't happen, but when it does happen and it kind of pisses you off a bit, it makes you go, yeah, let me take a bit of a break from this game. And that those are those true troll water moments where you get messed up for something that's totally not your fault. Alright, we're getting near the end of this video here, and I hope I didn't scare too many people away with the making of this video, but I try to capture the realness of how it feels to play the SnowRunner. I didn't want to make a video like some of the videos I've seen before purchasing this game that kind of made me go, yo, what the hell is this crap? And nah, it looks a little too, I don't know, it looks a little too not fun getting stuck just trying to do one little thing. Actually, there is one video I'm planning on making in the future where I'm gonna kind of mimic the same path that was taken in that joke video that I was watching that made me say no to playing SnowRunner at first. Because when I was sitting there looking at this video, it was like the video was probably a bit longer than what this video right here is gonna be, and it was just these three guys trying to cross this one little path or whatever. And like I said, it took them over a half an hour to do it. And I was like, well, what the hell is this crap? This doesn't look fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, who wants to play a game? Like, imagine if I was to spend a half an hour on this bridge I just crossed, and I'm laughing, joking about not being able to cross it. But I mean, the path that they was taking, yeah, it was going across it was doing the river crossing on the other map. But like I said, I didn't want it. Now, what made the video fun was the fact that they was talking to each other. So they was having fun. But I was looking at the aspect of the video of, hey, look, these guys took a half an hour, and they only made it like, I don't know, point 0.3 miles. And when you think about delivering loads in a game like this, you're like, wow, if it took them that long just to do that, this game must be trash, and I don't want to play that. But anyways, I'm glad that I was taught to buying this game. It is a pretty fun game. It's not really meant for everybody, but anyways, thank you guys for watching Pomo Stream, and I'll catch you guys in the next video, and I'm out. See you later.